Welcome to Beans and Breakdowns, a podcast dedicated to bridging the gap between specialty coffee and the heavy music community. On this episode, I'm joined by Tommy Harte of the bands Broken Vow and Anxious. So grab a fresh cup of coffee and wake the fuck up! What's going on, Caffeinated crew? Today I'm joined by the lovely Tommy of Anxious, Broken Vow, one of New England's finest.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's I'm doing great. Sipping on this Starbucks cold brew from the Wonder Years green room. Shout out to Andy, their TM, for hooking it up. I came in, I said, "What's the fastest coffee you have?" I forgot I needed coffee for this.
Well, I think you're taking a bit of an L, a little bit of an L.
I'm not a Starbucks guy, so it's but
not by I'm not by choice. Sometimes by necessity, right?
Like 100%. But it's like, I mean, having Starbucks by necessity feels like getting your car repaired, because it's like, oh, I need to do this, but it's going to financially destroy me for the next period of time.
I can either eat dinner or get a Starbucks.
Straight up. Yeah. But I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Took a little walk earlier. It's a lovely day in the lovely city of Montreal, as we were talking a bit earlier. So I'm trying to milk the last few ounces of summer.
Yeah.
Before it goes away. But I mean, living in New England, y'all get it cold.
We get it. We get it cold. I mean, we're definitely not like Canada cold. But you can be in here. We're definitely not Canada cold, but it gets pretty miserable. So
you want?
Oh no, just Jake who's playing bass in Anxious on this tour. It's just across the way. So
what up?
They'll be chiming in occasionally.
What up, Jake?
What up, Jake?
Cool.
I don't think they want to be on the podcast.
No. Does anyone ever? I don't know how I con people into this.
Dude, I mean, I heard the name of the podcast and I was like, this is going to be a 4-hour episode. Fuck. Well, at least one of these things I could talk about for a very long time.
See, that'll be a record breaking one, because Mackey's so far, I think, has been the longest at an hour and 20.
Okay. Well, then, I can keep it brief. And
if you want to shatter it, then we can try. But so you're drinking some Starbucks cold brew.
Unfortunately, yeah,
it's okay. There's no judgment. I know the tour life can be rough.
It's true.
I appreciate you, taking one for the team.
What about you? What are you sipping on?
I was going to ask you what kind of notes you're tasting. Cigarette,
cigarette ash, dirt. Gentrification, they're all in here.
Nice. The stomping down of small businesses.
The destruction of the American Main Street. I can just it's all coming through in that one sip.
I'm drinking something. This is my last coffee I have from Dark Arts. One of my friends who's over there, Blair, sent me 4 coffees and a nice little care pack. So nice of him. This is the last one. It's called Mother Tongue.
Ooh.
It's really good. It's a Colombian coffee. It's honey processed, which is always delicious. It's got some lemonade acidity, caramel, and honey notes.
Awesome.
Very good.
Sounds great. Sounds amazing.
Like a morning brew, I would say. But
okay. For 4:30 p.m.
Yeah, for 4:30. I almost did. I was like, I want to do something fun. So I almost did have you heard of the shaken espresso?
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of those at home recently, where I just put instead of brown sugar, I put maple syrup, because I'm in Canada.
Nice. Yeah.
And then shake it up, pour it, and then dump some oat milk in it.
Damn, that sounds awesome. Maple syrup, in my opinion, is the best sweetener by far.
It is. Have you ever shot it just straight?
Oh yeah, all the time.
It's amazing.
It's like a rite of passage. That's just something you do for fun.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't know. Maybe I have a different experience than most, but
I love it. I'm I'm not native to this area, so whenever I found out about
maple syrup, that must be like a new thing for you, huh?
Well, when I first, yeah, like in the past 5 years, I've grown to be like an elitist about it now.
Oh yeah, it happens really quickly once you like realize that where you are has better maple syrup than other places. You're like, fuck all that other maple syrup. This is the truth.
Yeah, you know? I'm here to spread the truth. Like
this is the gospel,
the gospel of maple syrup. To all my Southern family, like stop using table syrup. It's the worst shit ever.
Yeah, no Aunt Jemimas. We can't. You can't do that. You cannot.
Aunt Jemima's canceled.
It's not. That's true as well. And you know, not only for her poor syrup quality.
It's funny because they have the boxes still where it's like the same label and everything. They just changed the name and it was like formerly Aunt Jemima's. I'm like,
what are we improving upon? You know what I mean? if you don't want to change it, just don't change it. You know what I mean? Like
if you're gonna like go on a tirade about cancel culture, even though you've exploited a woman that anyway, we won't get into that.
It's horrible. It's horrible. And here's the thing is the only thing that could salvage it in my eyes is if they were just like, no, we're not going to change it. You know what I mean? Then I'd at least be like, okay, they're standing their ground. But like, if they're just going to be like cowardly about it, then it's like, it's all the way. I don't rock with it to begin with even. So.
No, I'm not a fan. I switched to Bisquick a long time ago because who are you offending with that? Right.
Yeah, no, that Bisquick's never going under. That's forever.
And then I got put on to Maddie Matheson's pancake recipe. I don't know if you're familiar.
I'm not a big cook, but I do have a my friend Trang on put me on a lovely vegan pancake recipe that I only make for dinner ever. I like never make it for breakfast.
Wow. Yeah. So you do like normal ass pancakes for breakfast, but then it's the vegan only for dinner.
Well, I mean, I whenever I'm eating pancakes, they are vegan pancakes. So
are you the vegs?
Yes. Okay. I've been vegan for 3 years. But
nice.
So I'm never eating regular pancakes, but I guess I'm only ever eating pancakes at night.
Right.
Is if I'm making them for myself. I just don't have the wherewithal for all that in the morning. You know what I mean?
If you're drinking a coffee with a pastry, being vegan, what's the pastry?
Oh, I'm a big fan of there's my favorite coffee shop in my hometown has like a vegan ginger cookie. Ooh. And I love having a coffee with that. That's a shout out Catalpa in Northampton. And that's a great coffee pastry.
That's interesting. The cookie.
Yeah, I mean, I love croissants. I love everything else. But they also do a peanut butter cookie as well. So it's like a cookie and a coffee that's a go-to for me. Or Biscoff. I really love Biscoff with coffee as well.
Oh, nice. Like the S style ones are like just the straight up biscotti.
No. Like the stuff like the little cookies they give you on airplanes.
Yes.
Yeah. I eat those all the time.
Those do hit with coffee.
Yeah, I like dipping them in the coffee, and then they get like a little soggy, and yeah, that's great. Oh, yeah, that's my answer. Okay. That's I think that's my real answer. Is the Biscoff.
Just fuck everything else. Just Biscoff.
Yeah, I don't care. Fuck the cookie. Who gives a shit?
I've been trying to perfect my vegan brownie recipe because I'm like an aspiring vegan.
Nice. Hell yeah.
But, like my wife is from Mexico and grew up in Texas, so it's very difficult to be vegan.
Yeah.
When you come from those two backgrounds, but
100%.
But the vegan brownies are so hard to make, but so worth it if you can get it right.
Yeah. Well, I'm willing to be your guinea pig. If you ever need someone to test those on, just let me know. I'll come up to Montreal.
Yo, November, it's gonna happen. I'll have like
Hell
a
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, at the bot fly date, I expect a big tray.
I'm pretty sure like half of bot fly at least is vegan too. So
really? I didn't know that. That's awesome.
I can't remember. It's not Bab. Maybe it is Babs is vegan. Some of them are vegan for sure.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Well, most of Broken Vow is, especially we've got someone filling in who is bringing the vegan count up. So we'll be dining in similar fashion with them. I'm excited for that tour. That's gonna be awesome.
It's such a sick like combination of music. So yeah, I'm very excited for it.
It's something different as well. Like I feel like they offered us that, and I was like, when the hell else are we going to get the opportunity to do those things? Like, we'll play Toronto and Montreal, but who knows when we're ever going to get to go to like New Brunswick or Nova Scotia, you know what I mean? So I was really stoked to be able to do that.
They're like the champions of Eastern Canada, or Atlantic Canada, I guess is what it's called. Like hardcore. When
I've heard it called the Maritimes.
The Maritimes as well, but the Maritimes are different than Atlantic Canada.
Oh,
it's weird. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the geography as well.
For sure.
I didn't learn it in school. You know, we just learned that like Canada was like that weird neighbor that tried to like start a war in 1812, right?
There's a ton of drama about like beavers, and then that's about it.
Yeah, you can't hit a beaver with your car, you'll go to jail. You can't hit a goose with your car, you go to jail.
That's the queens.
Yeah. Those are her geese. Like,
oh, I mean the kings.
Is it the king's geese?
Well, because the queen died. She's gone.
She is gone.
Yeah. So,
R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
Are you a Dunkin person?
Yeah, I said on my form I wanted to talk. Dunkin is, I'd say, probably my favorite coffee, just like original blend Dunkin, oat milk, and that's like my coffee relationship is like I'm either having it from like a plastic bottle from the grocery store, or I'm having Dunkin. You know what I mean? That's like, or there's like some spots in my town that I'll go to sometimes that have like some higher end stuff, but that's like on like a regular basis, that's my relationship with it. And it's a pretty no frills order. So it's just, I see it as like a utility, you know what I mean? It's just something,
it's fuel.
It's a means to an end. So
what's the order?
Just so I go up, I say, can I get a medium iced regular oat milk? And then after they've already rang me up, I say, oh, can I have a little extra oat milk so they don't charge me for it?
Life hack.
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes if you ask before, they won't charge you, but it's better to just like sneak it in no matter what. Because like if they're going to be chill, they'll be chill anyways. And if they weren't going to be chill, then you have to force them to be chill.
Right. Yeah. You just slip it in. They're like, fine, whatever. I don't feel like ringing it up.
Okay. God. Yeah, no, I mean, they're not getting paid enough by the hour to like, to be like, oh, that's actually going to be 39 more cents. You know what I mean? So
will that be cash or card?
Yeah. Card always.
No, 39 cents. Like they're going to charge cash or card. Sorry. It didn't land.
Definitely card. Dunkin's not getting a cent of that. So if they want to charge extra for oat milk at all, I'm making sure to use the cards. They get hit with those fees.
I don't feel like it's fair, like charging for plant-based milk at this point.
Of course it's not. I mean, because I'd venture to say that most people I'd say the majority of people right now are of the opinion that that's better. Mm-hmm. And I think that especially people who aren't vegan are like very on that right now of like, oh, like I only drink oat milk. You know what I mean? So it's like, and that's great. You know what I mean? But it's weird that even that hasn't been enough to like make the upcharge go away.
I mean, that's capitalism for you. That's
straight up. And I mean, if it wasn't for the massive subsidies that the United States government gives to the dairy industry, then the milk, the regular milk would be getting a huge upcharge. So it's a very confusing situation, but at the end of the day, I'm just glad to have an option at a place like Dunkin. So
positive hot take number 1.
Yeah, let's do it.
No, that was it. That was the
it.
Subsidies thing. Yeah, no, I mean straight up, like it's funny. But here, even still, people charge like at third wave coffee shops, they will upcharge you for oat milk, and I'm like, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's really weird. I'm sure eventually it'll stop being a thing, but especially I think we're at like a crux, like a turning point of it right now, where it's like it's kind of becoming the thing that people want. So I think sooner or later the business model will catch up to that, and it won't be an upcharge anymore.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've been watching it. I like the taste of oat milk better. Dairy milk gives me the ick, so I just prefer oat.
Yeah, I mean, if I think the last time I got dairy poisoned, it was not a pretty sight in my bathroom later. So it was
nice.
It's not a good thing for anybody. You know
No,
what I
no,
mean?
no, no, no. Now we just gotta perfect making like the oat milk cold foam because I haven't figured that out yet.
Dude, there's this spot in Connecticut. I forget what it was called that had like vegan cold foam for a while. It was awesome. And
That's cool.
it was like lime flavored. And I was
Ooh.
like, and that's like a bridge for me. You know what I mean? Like putting like a flavor other than like milk/milk substitute and coffee and like sweetener
Right.
in my coffee is like that's going somewhere with it. So that was, it was really good. I got like a black cold brew with the cold foam, and it was
Yeah.
lime flavored. It was delicious.
That's what I've been watching a bunch of. There's this YouTube like barista person, Morgan. Her
Yeah,
channel's called Morgan Drinks Coffee. Lovely person, but
awesome.
she's been doing like coffee cocktails, where it's
Ooh.
like cocktails but only coffee basically products.
Hmm.
And so, but she makes cold foam, but uses heavy cream. And I'm like, what are you doing for the plant-based fam? Like, I can't
That
make
sounds
that.
that would be my stomach hurts just like hearing that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like this past Christmas, I found heavy cream or heavy whipping cream from Silk, and it was plant-based.
Yeah, Silk's the goat. Like
It's
they
good.
I usually at home I usually drink soy milk.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's easier to find oat milk now than soy milk, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get like the Silk original soy milk, and that's what I have in my coffee. Like if I'm brewing like a pot or a French press at home.
Have you
So
tried the next milk?
the next milk? I
It's
don't think I've heard
it's
of that.
it's Silk. It's like some blend. I don't know what they're doing, but it's
Hmm,
all nuts and stuff.
cool. I'm always open to it, but I usually defer back to soy. Soy always calls me back.
It's the original. It's
The
OS.
OG. It's a
Yeah.
goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. Soy, oat. I prefer oat, but soy's good.
So
Soy does this weird thing in coffee though.
I
It
feel like oat does the weird thing in coffee where it like curdles if you've got the
no.
wrong stuff.
If you get the wrong brand,
Yeah.
this is like a whole nother
If you get
rabbit
like
hole
the
we can go.
Pacific Foods brand and you're just fucking up
It sucks.
horrendously.
It
Yeah,
sucks.
it's the worst thing ever, honestly. Um but so the reason I get soy most of the time is because it avoids that. It avoids
Okay.
like the oat milk and coffee thing. But what's your thing with soy?
The soy taste was always weird to me. Like I had soy when I was a kid and I was always
Mm.
like, but I think my parents usually got vanilla and it turned me off.
Yeah, so like the super vanilla-y one, like the purple carton.
The silk one with vanilla,
Yeah,
horrible.
yeah. Really, because like that is such a special place in my heart. Like the little like cart like juice boxes of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Those
the
I
chocolate milk.
love those.
The chocolate milk fucks, but like
Yeah.
the vanilla one was wrong for me.
Interesting. Well, that's varieties of spice of life. That's interesting.
It's true. It's true. It takes all kinds.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
We
But
have some brands here that are really good though.
that's awesome. Yeah, no, like in Canada,
Like
I
Nature's
love
Own.
I love Canada for for vegan food in like as a sum total. Like I could eat if I lived in Canada, I'd be at A&W every day at like 4 p.m. You know, I'd be getting like, hey, can I get the burger with 3 fucking patties on it? Can I make all of them beyond patties? Because I just hate myself.
Yo, they were doing a fucking jalapeno chipotle Beyond Meat burger for a while.
A&W?
Yes.
Damn, that's awesome.
They
That
be
sounds
looking
delicious.
out. They be looking out for the vegan people.
Straight up. Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite vegan burger is in Montreal as well. Burger Fiance.
Yo,
Yeah. Me and Alec talk about it all the time.
come on.
Like he sent me the flyer that like of my band going on tour to Montreal and then just like as if I didn't know and then was like and then sent me like a link to Burger Fiance and I was like at this point dude do we even need to say it like it's gonna happen
Oh man.
Yeah.
I love Alec for that.
You're in bruiserweight, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, Alec's the man.
Alec is like I don't know. I've never met a person that is stoked to do merch more than Alec.
That's sick.
It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, he's an interesting critter for sure.
I love
him. You gotta love him. You gotta love him. He's the best.
He's great. He's like what every straight edge kid should be.
Yeah.
And I'm like an old jaded 30-year-old and like do your thing, dog. Like I'll run merch if you want. It's like, no, I got it. What size you need?
Dude, no, I feel like he's just like a people person. You know what I mean? Like he's jonesing to go out there and like smile and talk to people, and that's awesome. That's why I love him.
I started making him do background vocals because it's just his energy is so good. Like I'm like, just fucking do vocals whenever you want. Like
that's awesome. That's so sick.
Yeah, we're getting it dialed in. Super stoked.
You're cooking. You guys are cooking.
We're cooking.
Anyways.
Love
we got on a huge tangent. But nice. A deserving one. He deserves a tangent.
He's boss man. Man. Okay, we'll hook up the vegan poutine. I'm gonna try to get the brownies going. Hopefully they don't suck. If they do, just tell me straight up.
Yeah, I'll take a bite, spit it out.
Yeah, just like Gordon Ramsay style.
I'm setting my bar like reasonably high. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
I'm expecting good, but if it's great, I'll be overjoyed. You know what I mean? Cool.
Yeah. So don't go. Yeah, expectations reasonable.
Reasonable, but I want to give you the benefit of the doubt.
There we go. I appreciate your trust.
Of course, yeah.
Anthropocene. Did I say that correctly?
Anthropocene. So
Anthropocene.
It doesn't really matter. I like when we were talking about it, I was like, I really want to make the title like a word that people like will get mad at me for naming the record. And then so far it's been going great. Like everybody's been like, why the fuck would you call it that? So I'm pretty stoked on it.
What is it?
So the Anthropocene is a period in geological time when human activity and human intervention has been the main driving force of environmental and climatic change.
Deep.
Yeah. pretty much.
Yeah.
and I'll get a vowel, please.
What is Anthropocene, Alec?
Yeah. Jamie, could you pull up Anthropocene?
It always comes back to the Rogues.
Yeah, straight up.
Well, the singles are fucking sick. I think.
Thank you, dude. I really appreciate it.
1.5 has been 1.5 has been my favorite.
1.5. I like that. I'm going to start calling it that.
I didn't know. I was like, it's probably 1.5, but 1.5 is more fun to say.
I call it 1.5, but 1.5 is awesome. I'm going to start using that just because of you. I'm going to introduce it as that in Montreal for sure.
You should be like earn point sank.
Earn point sanka.
Earn point sank.
No, if I start making fun of the French, it's gonna go down like a slippery slope, and I'm gonna get myself in trouble. So,
yeah, I'm sure you have more of a history with it than I do. So
making fun of them?
No, just like the relationship because you grew up closer to the border than I did.
I mean, there's a lot of French Canadians in Western Mass, so it's just like normal. It's a funny old accent. It's easy to.
I love it.
It's easy to do funny, but
yeah, it's fun though. Like I don't hate on Quebecois people. They're just cool.
The interesting thing about it to me is like thinking about how close it is to me geographically and how like different it is. You know, like it's totally like it is a foreign country. Like even going from where I live, which is like more rural, it's like a place like Toronto or Calgary, which is like a more like urban environment. It feels like, oh, I'm going to a city that could be in America. You know what I mean? But when I'm going to like Montreal or anywhere else in Quebec, I'm like, oh, I'm somewhere else. Yeah. I'm really somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I went to Europe like in the summer, like in June, to go to like Amsterdam, Copenhagen, places like that, and Brussels. Brussels is like if you took that historic part of Montreal and just blew it the fuck up.
Damn, that's sick. Dude, I love that historic part of Montreal. It's so dope. I went there with my dad wanted to go there for his birthday last year. So I went with my whole family, just like stayed in a hotel for 2 nights. And it was like we walked around there, like went to all the museums and stuff. It was great, dude. It's really cool, like learning about the history of that place.
Mm-hmm.
Went on the big Ferris wheel. That was dope.
Never done that.
Dude, it's so scary. I'm so scared of heights, but I was like, I was looking out and I was like, this looks awesome, but I'm scared.
I hate this.
Yeah, I love it and I don't. And I love it and not anymore.
Man. Yeah, the old port's cool. Like certain times of the year it's cooler than others. The summer it's kind of
Sure.
well, it's very touristy in the summer. In the winter though, they put Christmas lights everywhere. It's really beautiful.
Whoa, that's sick.
November it might be set up. So you guys might get to see it.
I'd love to come peep it in winter. I'm excited to be up in like that region in the winter just because like I love snow and cold and stuff. And we've been getting warmer and warmer winters in New England. So
Same here. I mean,
dude,
today
fucked.
it's 75.
Dude, yeah, no, that's not okay. Like
The world is on fire.
yeah, it's fucked. The whole thing's fucked.
We're just going down.
I mean, that's what the record's about. Like
literally.
yeah. So
So is that what the record is about? Is climate change?
well, it broadly it's about a lot of things, but that was definitely something that I like honed in on. I try not to like have a grand scheme when writing so that it feels like honest and like urgent because I feel like if I'm trying to write like a story, it's not going to come across with any sense of emotional urgency. Whereas if I just like when I have something like that on my mind, I try and like almost like dictate my thoughts into the lyrics of a song and then kind of use that as a way of synthesizing the way I feel about it. And I think that is definitely a big way that a big thing that helps me have a better outlook on that sort of thing. But I don't know. There's definitely also an element of it where it's like I'm trying to create something cohesive.
Right.
But it's about a lot of different things. I'd say it's like climate change and just kind of like overall like environmental devastation is a big theme in it. And also something I sing about in the band a lot is kind of the corrupt nature of the American political system, the military industrial complex. Those are big, like those are like touchstone stuff for me to talk about in Broken Vow. So it's like it feels like it's stuff I've touched on and talked about before, but I definitely want it to be in a way that feels more full as a project and like comes like I feel like at the end of the record I come to a somewhat of a conclusion about it versus like the beginning. Yeah, it's loose and it's hardcore, but I enjoy writing and I enjoy kind of trying to make a point or have a message. So
like having a concept essentially, and then
yeah, and I mean it's a concept, but it's also a reality. You know what I mean? It's a concept, but it's not like a rock opera. It's not like American Idiot. Like it's just and I think it's kind of easy on me because it's like it's easy to have a concept when like the material is right there for you. Right. You know what I mean? Like the material is in front of my face every day, and it's just kind of about the record. I feel like in a big way is me like taking the stuff that I see in the world around me and synthesizing it into what I hope are catchy lyrics. You know what I mean?
That makes sense now because 1.5 and reversal would be related to climate change in some sense. So,
and I think honestly, like I'd say like maybe half of the songs are about that, and then half of the songs are about other stuff. So it's like I guess in the singles it was a misrepresentative like portion of the songs, but I don't know. It's a very present thing in the record, and it was a very present thing in putting together the art and the layout and stuff for it. So it felt like a good thing to kind of like lead with in terms of the record.
And y'all are putting it out on
Triple B Records.
It's Triple B.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was Days or Triple B.
No, it's Triple B. We're putting it out on September 29th.
Yep. Excited.
I'm so nervous.
I'm like it's y'all's first release on Triple B, right?
Yeah. We've been talking with him for a while before we put out our split with Set Straight. And at that point we'd already recorded those songs and we were like, hey, we have this. And he was like, no, like I want to do an LP, which we were pretty stoked about. And so it's been like almost 2 years since it's been in the works with him. So it feels very good to like get the final product out there imminently. But again, it's like when something's in your head as an idea for so long, it like feels totally wrong putting that out into the world and changing that. But that's something you have to overcome if you ever want to do anything. So
yeah. Well, I'm super excited for you guys.
Dude, thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Single sound fucking angry and awesome and everything
Fuck
I
yeah.
love about hardcore. But there are elements of metalcore in there, which also makes me very happy.
So kind of conceptually, like what, like musically for it, I was like, what if we had all the awesome like parts about like metallic hardcore and metalcore where it's like totally like crushing and driving, but like the songs were not 4 minutes. You know what I mean? So it's like we're packing all of that into like a minute and 45 seconds. You know what I
Wrap
mean?
it up.
Yeah, I can't like I mean, and I love long songs and I'm a long song guy, but I don't think everyone else needs to be, and I think I want the record I make to be 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And
Right.
not a half an hour, 45 minutes, because I'd lose interest at that point, and I don't want someone else to lose interest in it.
See, this is the curse of everyone in hardcore having ADHD and ADD.
Dude, it's crazy. It's like, I mean, I listened to that the Serration record that just came out, and it was brilliant and amazing, and the people in that band are geniuses. And I was just like, the reason I like this so much is because every song is like 55 seconds long and has 3 breakdowns in it. And I was like, fuck. Like
just give me all condense it to all the good stuff and just put that out.
It's brilliant music, but like the keystone of why I like it is because it just like it's not too much for me. Right. So I don't know. That's a bad realization to come to, that the way your fucked up brain chemistry dictates how you like your music, but
the things that it latches onto.
Here we are.
Yeah. It's like Lumpy said in like an interview, like man, it was like a Scoped Exposure episode a long time ago. He's like hardcore kids writing metalcore. He's like always good.
Yeah. Yep.
He was like, it never really turns out good the other way around. I was like, damn.
No. Yeah, no, because like I've definitely been on both sides of that coin in my life, and I feel like there was a time when I was like I grew up going to shows at the Worcester Palladium and seeing like Architects and Issues, The Devil Wears Prada, like those kinds of bands, and that was like my world of music. And then kind of when I first started getting into hardcore on a surface level, I was writing these like 4.5 minute hardcore songs, being like, oh, this is great. Like this is like I do need like 4 verses in this song, you know what I mean? And then like now that the boot's on the other foot, and you know, I'm more solidly a hardcore kid, but I still have those like influences. I think it allows to make like more digestible music. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Like same for me. Devil Wears Prada was like one of my favorite bands as a kid.
They're still one of my favorite bands. I didn't grow out of any of that stuff just yet. So
did you see the tour last year was it earlier this year with
the Dying Wish tour?
Dying Wish and Stray.
Dude, I wish I did. I think I was on tour when that was happening, but they were doing Zombie EP, right?
Yes, they did for 1 and 2, record. Like back to back.
Damn, that's sick.
And
yeah, I mean, I'd want to go see a Roots Above Branches Below tour is what I would be interested in.
This sounds fucked up, but not. Plagues is my favorite album because that's like the one that came out when I was like 14, 15.
Yeah.
But my introduction was Texas is South off of Dear Love.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was like this video that went around when people had like shitty cell phones still. And it was them playing in the Cornerstone parking lot.
Dude, I love that video's legendary where they're all wearing like super like bright baseball tees
and like short shorts and shit.
And they're kicking up dust all over. Dude, that is an awesome video.
That launched me into my scene kid nature.
Dude, like seeing that and you're just like, oh my God. It's like that like when I saw that video, that was the coolest video I'd ever seen up until that point. I was like, that is the sickest thing in the entire world. So
seeing like the pits open up and like spin kicking and shit, I was like,
what are they doing? I
gotta find more of this shit right here.
I was like, what do you call that?
Karate
and then
dancing.
it was all the way downhill from there.
Yeah,
so
horrible.
Yeah, just ruined my life in the best way possible.
It's funny that Architects, like I find this weird cross section of people where it's like I heard the first like OG Architect stuff,
like the tech stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, you know, like this is cool, but like
I like that stuff a ton, but it's like definitely not my favorite material by them.
It was like the OG Counterpart stuff, but then like I found that by like the second or third LP, I was like, I can't even like fathom this music anymore.
The OG Counterpart stuff is my favorite though. Like I think difference between Hell and Home is my favorite record by them for sure. That's like that is it. That is a front to back is a perfect LP.
Yep. And that was like when metalcore was really changing.
Yeah, 100%. And I think they were a band that like was on one side of that wave and is now on the other side of that wave and like rode it out all the way through. So it's like makes for a very interesting discography.
Yes. But a lot of those like Architects has that same style albums where it's like you see where they were like, we want to play everything as much as possible. And now it's like we've refined, we're older, like we write pop songs with heavy shit in it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we have a chorus and then like a panic chord breakdown. So it's just like, I don't know. I like the stuff where it's like there's like 15 different riffs in like a minute and a half song. And they only ever go for like a measure and a half. Then there's some crazy drum fill and it goes to the next one. That's my shit by them. But definitely some of the later era records up until more recently were pretty big for me as well.
Like, did you ever get into The Chariot?
No, weirdly, I never did.
Or like OG Norma Jean?
Yeah. Oh, I love that shit. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like, but there's weird gaps because it's not something that I like grew up with. It's something I had to kind of go back and find. So there's like stuff that probably like was and still is important to it that I totally miss out on because it's like a historical thing for me rather than a like, oh, I remember this from then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay. Yeah. See, like I've got 10 years on you. So I remember when like a lot of that shit came out and it was like game changing. So
yeah, I mean, like when Roots Above came out, I would have been 7.
Holy shit.
So it's like it I don't know. It's like not I wasn't listening to it then.
Right. That's
because I hadn't gotten there yet.
I found Under Oath, like the first Under Oath, not Active Depression, but like Changing of Times had come out when I was like 11.
I think that came out the year I was born.
Yeah.
So I definitely didn't. I wasn't up on that one.
So I was like, oh, this is like really cool. And they're screaming and I've never heard this before. And then my parents were like, turn that shit off. Like,
that's a great record. I love that record.
So yeah, I love like talking to people that like are a lot younger than me. Like I talk with Alec about this all the time because, you know, he's very tuned in with metalcore as well.
Oh yeah.
But it was like back then, like metalcore wasn't shit on like it is now. It was like that was necessary to find hardcore essentially.
Yeah, no, it's also back though. Like I think it's like progressively it's getting harder to shit on because it's progressively becoming less and less deniable. You know what I mean? You can't like deny the impact that it's already had and continues to have anymore. So
I have something. It's some sort. It's not a hot take like in a negative way at all. Dying Wish is As I Lay Dying with female sounding vocals.
So I'm a Killswitch guy. Okay. And that also opened a can of worms because that's like my favorite band. So I like As I Lay Dying was always a very secondary band for me. Like it was like there's like Killswitch, Shadows Fall, Unearth, and then like As I Lay Dying. And I know that's a hot take, honestly.
That is a hot take, yeah.
I know that's a hot take, but I know I'm wrong about it probably, but it's just a product of what I got into when I was younger, I guess. But I hear more of the Killswitch in it, but I'm sure if I had a more broad understanding of As I Lay Dying, I would have a better like scope to view that through, you know?
You only need the first album from As I Lay Dying because everything after that was like kind of corny, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, but all that stuff got corny really quick, and it's like, but I think here's my thing is that like a lot of those bands started being corny before they stopped having riffs. So sometimes you have to power through like the corny material in order to get to like the couple of songs on the record that you're like, oh wait, this is amazing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of like later era Killswitch even I think has a ton of like great moments like musically that you just kind of have to like wade through the bullshit to get to.
Yes.
So
it's the same with not As I Lay Dying. Like this is Attack.
I love Attack.
Great band.
And I think the first two Attack LPs are two perfect metalcore LPs.
No skips.
No, dude, especially this might be a hot take, but the self-titled is my favorite record by them. The one with like Smokeahontas on it and stuff.
Oh, yo, that's the LP2.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun. That is actually the first heavy song I ever heard, like unknowingly, because I was like 11 or like maybe honestly even younger than that, like 8 or 9. And I found like I had music videos on my TV, and I was looking for the craziest thing I could find. And I found that, and I like totally didn't get it. And then when I circled back to it years later, when I got into all that stuff, I was like, that's that band that was on my TV. You know what I mean?
That happened to me with Haste the Day as well. I don't know if you ever knew that band.
No.
They were like kind of Christcore, I guess.
Hell
but
yeah.
then like dropped
that.
like every band they dropped it after a while.
Yeah.
But it was similar. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I like skipped it. And then later I saw the video again when I was like older, and I was like, oh yo, I saw that band when I was like 11.
So I was like, wait, that's like the band I've been like, that's
Looking
that. It's like those full circle moments are crazy.
Yeah. And then you come to find out that like super influential band, like at a certain point.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I even when I was viewing it, I was seeing it in like a bit removed from the context of it being like at its peak.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I wasn't seeing the like cultural effects of it around me. Like I wasn't seeing kids in Attack shirts and like knowing that's what that was. I was just like, this is music video is insane. Like why does the music sound like that? That's weird, edgy. You know? Yeah, totally. I would just want it to be edgy. And then I circled back and actually like genuinely enjoyed it eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Life is weird.
Life's crazy.
I know that you guys have the tour. Let me know what the deets are with that for Broken Vow, because we got the album coming out the 29th, and then which actually this episode will be out the same week as the release.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, that's great. And I think the Canada tour is going to be the first tour that we do after the record is released. So you guys will get it first.
We get our pick of the fresh presses.
Yeah. You have claim to it now. So nice. It's yours.
I'm entitled to it. No.
Yeah. No, you're as you are with every artist you listen to, you're entitled to it.
How was Japan?
Japan was insane. It was awesome.
Was it crazy?
That whole tour was like a really like I don't know. It's hard to talk about it without like sounding corny, because like literally it was just insane and awesome. And it was unlike anything I've ever done in my life before, and I'm really thankful to have been able to do it, and to have that opportunity. But I mean, there's even cooler stuff in the future, so that's great.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of being over there?
I really like how thorough their gas station snack selections are, because it's like something. So a gripe I have about gas stations over here is it's all like shit food, and it's like a lot of the times the only meal you're going to be able to get is like a gas station meal. And I try and go out of my way to like have like at least 1 or 2 good meals every day. Mm-hmm. Like even if it means like walking for a little bit or whatever. But in Japan, like you could just go into like a 7-Eleven, or like they have this thing called Family Mart there, which is pretty cool too. And you just get like a full meal's worth of like snacks that you don't feel fucking horrible after.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I don't know if shrimp chips vegan. I don't know if they are or not.
Maybe if it's, I don't know. Maybe if it's just like I've never had them, but
have you smelled them?
No, I don't. I'm not even honestly sure what you're referencing, but
okay.
If it's just the kind of thing where it's like sometimes there's like chicken flavored stuff that's just like it's like spices.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like a crispy little chip that is flavor blasted with shrimp flavor.
Cool.
But it stinks.
It's like you open the bag and it's like an assault.
It smells like a million shrimps.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if that sounds very appetizing, to be frank.
Death by a million shrimps.
Death by a million locusts. Sorry, that is the most inside of inside jokes. There's no point even trying to explain it.
It's a geography joke. You had to be there.
I wish it was that. Like it's way stupider than that.
And you guys got the Wonder Years coming up.
We're on.
It's happening right now. You're there.
I'm in the midst of it. The thick of it, even
the thick of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really great. It's been a really cool tour. Everybody's super cool. Everyone at the venues has been nice. The dudes in the Wonder Years are awesome. They're really just like really nice dudes at like a high point in their career, as they've been at a continuous high point for a very long time, and we're really glad that they took us out and put us onto the degree that they have. So and then the show's been great. So thank you everyone for coming out.
Have you dropped the term elder emo with them yet?
I don't know. I don't know when the time is going to be for that. Maybe never, but
maybe 2 weeks at least.
Yeah. I gotta feel it out a little bit.
You gotta read the room.
I mean, we've already talked about like the easy core records, so it's like we're already definitely very on like a like personable terms, but I think I'd venture to say that they probably feel the way about that term that I feel about it, which is not good. So
you don't feel good about it?
I mean, maybe I just can't relate. Maybe I just have to wait like 15 years and then I'll be like, yeah, man, I was wrong. I am an elder emo.
There are certain bands that have tried to own it, and I can't determine if it's cringe or not.
I think it's pretty cringe. And I think the vast majority of shit is not cringe.
Wow.
So I think most things are cool.
Okay.
And I think that term elder emo is super cringe.
So you're like not a hater. Like
I'm not a hater. I'm
certified not hater.
I'm the opposite of I'm a lover.
Certified lover.
Yeah, I like shit.
That's crazy.
I think it's awesome.
That's crazy that okay. Well, let's see. We're gonna have to. I don't know how we're gonna get to determine this. Because we need somebody older than me. Because I feel like I'm not an elder emo either. You know the band Emery?
I don't know. I don't think so.
They were.
I'm not like an emo like historian. Like I'm pretty surface level with emo, honestly.
Me too.
In general, like there's like a good amount of like pop punk stuff that was coming out when I was in my like early mid teens. I like really connected with me, but I never like the thing I dive back on is like 90s hardcore and metalcore. So that's the stuff that I'm more like steeped in musically, you know what I mean? And death metal and like black metal and stuff like that. Those are like my areas of expertise.
Black metal?
Black metal. I love black metal.
Like scary black metal?
What do you mean scary black metal?
Like from Europe?
Yeah.
Like the one where you have to check Reddit to make sure that
the ones where you have to be like, what did they do that was
bad? And there's some American bands you have to do that with.
There's I think honestly in like any extreme genre of music, it's gonna attract extreme people who do extreme shit. So it's definitely if you have a strong moral compass on who you listen to, that is probably something you should be doing for every band that you listen to. But
that's true.
You know,
even in hardcore, there's a few that you should
it's straight up. But I don't know. I like the like winter music like that. You know what I mean? Like music that you can be like sad in the snow to. That's like my emo music.
Right. So like some DSBM or something like that.
Oh, dude. Yeah. I love like there's this band called None. They have a record called The Damp Chill of Life that is one of my favorite depressive suicidal black metal records.
Amazing.
And everyone in the room is looking at me weird, but I mean it.
With his whole heart.
Yeah. I mean, that stuff is I don't know, that stuff has just always been more fun for me to like go in deep on, whereas like with like emo and pop music and pop punk and stuff like that, it's been something where it's more like I want the stuff that's like big room and catchy and fun. Like it doesn't appeal to me as much to like go in depth on that. Right. If that makes sense.
Yeah. My wife is like super into the atmospheric stuff.
Yeah, that's sick.
So like Mizmor, Hell.
Dude, that new Mizmor record is awesome. I've been listening to a lot of Thou on this tour.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, the Magus record and the record that they did with Mizmor as well is amazing. But Tyrant's probably my favorite record by them overall.
Okay. Yeah. The Mizmor stuff is something that I've grown to love just because of hearing it so many times.
Yeah.
But that shit is sad.
Dude, it is so like it can really, if you listen to only that for too long, it can really alter your brain chemistry in a way that is fucking horrible. So,
well, you know what? All his stuff is literally about him losing his faith.
really, I've never like delved. I'm with that stuff. I'm more like taken on face level as like music. You know what I mean? I never really read lyrics of that kind of thing because I think that's where you get to the point of like, oh, I'm not sure if I like this.
I'm scared.
So I try and just take it as like a sonic tapestry. You know what I mean? But
that's good.
That's cool if it has a really cool lyrical aspect to it as well.
Yeah, he's a nice guy though. Super nice guy.
You met him?
ALN, yeah. He came on an episode like 2 years ago.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm in good company.
He's incredibly nice.
That's great. Yeah, dude, I love that new record by him. That's one of my records of the year so far.
Shout out ALN.
Shout out Profound Lore. Kitchener, Ontario.
Wow.
Yeah. That the only thing from Kitchener, Ontario, I think.
Literally. I've never even been there. Like
I've like driven through it a handful of times, but I don't think I've ever had a reason to stop.
Ontario's hit or miss for me. I mean that with all love and respect to my Ontario friends.
I like Toronto. Toronto's been really good to Broken Vow. We've had the two shows we played in Toronto have been like two of the best shows we've ever played. So it's been they've been real good to us.
We call it New York Light.
Yeah, straight up. I mean, it's huge. Even like if it's bigger than even Chicago, I think. So
yeah,
it's nothing to be sniffed at.
I'm a sniff at it anyway. Fuck Toronto. No, I'm just kidding.
Cool.
There's like no, there's no beef. We just
I meet a lot of non like Canadians who aren't from Toronto. I guess you're not Canadian, but like Canadian people who live in Canada but not Toronto who like hate on Toronto heavy.
Montreal hates on Toronto like nonstop.
I get it. I mean, it's like city beef. It's like Boston and New York. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Boston is better. So
straight up.
Not even a hot take. Just the truth.
That's just the truth. I'm sorry, New York.
Does that exclude Long Island though? That's the question.
Yeah. I mean, do you like Long Island?
I like people from Long Island.
Me too. I'm not the biggest fan of the whole thing.
It's just like a suburb thing.
Yeah, it's like to me it's like it's totally unoffensive, but it's like it's not a I'm not going there if I don't have to, frankly.
It's not a destination, you know.
No.
It's not like Montreal or Boston.
It's not like Montreal or Boston. Straight up.
There we go.
Yeah. But people from Long Island love Long Island, and that is something that I respect deeply.
Yes.
Is that I like anyone who like is super about where they're from and cares a lot about like representing it in a big way, you know?
I've never it's so weird talking with like people from Koyo and they ride for not even Long Island, Stony Brook, which is like some fucking weird ass little town.
I love Long Island. Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure the only reason I don't get it is because I'm not from there. You know what I mean? So it's like there's got to be something in the water there that just makes people who are from there absolutely love it. So
it's fluoride.
Respect. Yeah. They got like 1.1% fluoride in the water.
Yeah, it's mind control. That's how they put the 5G in your brain.
There's zombies. Yeah. Everyone in Long Island had 5G long ago.
Pre-COVID jab, like straight up fluoride 5G in the water.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. I'm sorry to anybody from Long Island that had to hear that just now. Yeah, that wasn't no offense.
We just played one of the best shows we've ever played on Long Island, straight up. So it's like, and that's the other thing is like, there's such a plethora of good music from Long Island, like getting into hardcore, like bands like Jukai and Incendiary were really big for me. So it's like, those are bands that, like musically I owe a lot to. So there's Long Island's great. I just, I think like having that, like, I respect the sense of regional pride from anywhere, but, maybe I just don't understand it because I'm not from there.
And that's probably the wisest thing that's ever been said on this podcast. Just don't get it because I'm not from it. I can't relate.
Yeah.
There you go.
There it is. It's all said and done.
Beautifully.
Yeah.
What else does Anxious have for the rest of the year aside from this? I guess the year's almost over.
The year's almost over, but before it's over, we're going to be headed to Australia with Drain. And so I'm very excited for that. And we're going to be doing like a week there, hitting all the major cities. Never toured Australia, but it's been a huge like bucket list item for me to go to. Like, I want to tour on every continent. Mm-hmm. So I've toured on Europe, Asia, America, and then Australia will be, I'd suppose. Yeah, I guess Australia will be my fourth, which will be really sick. And there's only 6 that you can really tour on. So
yeah, Antarctica doesn't really have a metropolis yet.
Yeah, Antarctica, the scene in Antarctica has totally been dead for a while.
Weak.
Like, when was the last time you heard of like a dope new band popping up out of Antarctica? Like, I don't know, they're dragging it.
Yeah, that scene is not. They need some help.
Yeah, they need someone to like come in there and really like light a fire. You know?
Oh fuck, that's corny.
Yeah, I love that's that. Horrible. Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Let me get one more question.
Dude, yeah, let's go.
Before we go, what's your favorite city for beans and breakdowns?
For beans and like my favorite coffee and hardcore city?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a city that okay, this is I have my answer. It's out of left field. Okay. Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Wow.
Has amazing coffee and amazing like DIY shows. So that's and needs to be given the respect that it deserves.
It's underrated.
It's so underrated. It's a probably my favorite place in like Michigan to play for sure.
Yeah, they got a great Midwestern DIY scene. So many great bands, so many good people. I've met a few people like at festivals and stuff, and they're so nice.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I love all the Midwest hardcore scenes. Like Springfield, Illinois has like one of the best scenes in hardcore right now. Like spots in Ohio, like Columbus and Cleveland, are always fun to play. Like the Delayed Gratification Records puts on for them a ton. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the Midwest is like, I think there are a lot of bands from the Midwest right now that if they were from the East Coast, and like carrying out their bands in exactly the same way that they are now, would be getting a ton of shine in a way that they aren't. And I think that deserves to be uplifted.
Yes. Show some fucking respect to the Midwest, man.
Dude, it's crazy. They have to work like 20 times harder for everything. You know what I mean? Because every city is a 3-hour drive apart. Mm-hmm. There's no like, bands don't prioritize it for fests or for routings, especially bigger bands. So it's like the power and like commitment they have just based off like their local scene, and whoever stops through like is pretty amazing. And I respect and look up to those people a lot who make that happen.
Straight up. Shout out Dirty Dungarees, Delayed Gratification.
Dude, that's a great venue. That's an amazing venue.
It's on my list. I gotta play it.
Dude, no, it's amazing. It's awesome. It's like in like it just Evan, our guitarist, says that it's just like that venue is part of a recipe for a perfect show.
It looks sick. Like every video, Omerta playing there. Come on.
Dude, crazy. Irresponsible even.
Like yeah, like borderline a crime.
Like bad idea. But like great idea at the same time.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know if I'd be in the room. I'd be so scared, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely be standing on the other side of the glass panel.
Yeah, like I'm not in the
still like ducking,
Somebody comes through the fucking glass. No, thank you.
Dude, I mean, that was a worry when the show we played there. I mean, like a lot of the other sets were like super crazy. Mm-hmm. And they were like, yo, we gotta like reconfigure it so nobody goes through the window. Yeah.
Man. Yeah, that's on the list. But Midwest, so much respect for
that's the Midwest.
They have to hustle. So
yeah, and they do, and it pays off for them. So
well, Tommy, thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you so much, Grayson. I really appreciate it.
From the thick of it.
Yeah, reporting live from the thick of it.
Well, I hope you have a great show tonight. Enjoy the rest of the tour.
Hey, thank you so much, man. I hope you have a great evening.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Beans and Breakdowns. I want to say a huge thanks to Tommy for hanging out on the podcast. Be sure to check out Anthropocene, the LP from Broken Vow, out tomorrow, September 29th. Give it a spin and check out their upcoming tour dates. If you can catch a show, be awesome to see them live.
If you've enjoyed the podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. You can find out more information about the podcast by following us on Instagram at Beans and Breakdowns or on the web at beansandbreakdowns.com. Until next week, be sure to stay caffeinated and wake the fuck up.